Hi everyone, today I'll be telling you about the four different layers of the alimentary canal or the gut wall. So, right from the esophagus up till the rectum, we have the same four layers that compose our alimentary canal. So, I'll be telling you about them. So, our alimentary canal is somewhat like this. It's like a hollow cavity that is stretching right from our esophagus to our rectum. And if I were to cut a small piece out of it, like this, let's say I was to chop it up and expand it. So this is something that I would get. This outermost layer, which is very thin, is known as the serosa. So this outermost extremely thin layer, as you can see, it's barely visible. This is known as the serosa, the outermost layer. It's extremely thin. It is made of the mesothelium. Mesothelium is basically the epithelium that lines the gut wall. So as you can see, it's so thin that it's barely visible. I'm making it a bit thick so that you can see it. But anyway, serosa is the thin layer made of mesothelium which lines all of our visceral organs. So this is the serosa. It also has some connective tissues just in case. And just so you know, even blood is a connective tissue, even lymph is a connective tissue. So when we say connective tissues, we can also mean blood and lymph, right? Now let's go on to the second layer. So this is the outermost layer. When we come a bit inside, we see two layers that comprise the smooth muscle layer muscularis. So if this was the first layer and this is the second layer, right? So your outer layer is actually your longitudinal layer, and we usually draw it like this. What I mean by this is that it's basically like this. There are like pipes sort of inside. That's why it's longitudinal. It's like basically inside. So if I draw it, it's like this. It's inside it, this way. It's towards the inside. So this is our outer layer, which is made of circular muscles. So circular layer and it's outer, and it's made of circular smooth muscles. Inside it is made of something of this sort. Oops, these are longitudinal. I'm so sorry. These are longitudinal, and inside it is made of circular muscles. How I remember this is that we have learnt in earthworms that if this is an earthworm, it's basically like made up of longitudinal muscles. How I remember earthworm is that I remember an earthworm to be like this, and then it has a gift wrap around it, circular gift wrap. So this helps me remember that in an earthworm, inner layer is longitudinal and outer layer is circular. So it is pretty much the opposite in humans. The inner layer is circular and the outer layer is longitudinal. Because we are not earthworms, we go opposite to earthworms. So if you remember earthworm, you can also remember humans. So this is how I remember. It was like a short trick. Now proceeding. So these two layers together, they make up the muscularis. Now muscularis is just a bunch of smooth muscles that you cannot control. After muscularis, we have got our second to the innermost layer. We have got our submucosa, because it is not the main mucus layer. So this is our submucosa. Why it is submucosa is because it has like lots of blood vessels, lymph vessels, nerves, etc. And this is my submucosa, as you can see. Now it is made of very loose connective tissue. You can see that this is such a flappy covering. It's literally not even like proper a compact covering. So it's made of very loose connective tissues. And in the duodenum, the submucosa has also got glands. So if you talk about the duodenum, so in the duodenum you have your serosa, you have your outer muscularis, which is your longitudinal layer, you have your inner muscularis, which is your circular layer, you have your submucosa, and your submucosa has all types of glands. So this is the case in duodenum, right? So that's about duodenum. Now inside of the submucosa you have another layer before the lumen. This is known as the mucosa. So mucosa is where the villi is located. So this lumen is actually the villi. So you will find villi here, and you will also, it's also made of mucosa is made of Well, we don't know what it is made of. It's just like that it has microscopic projections called villi, microvilli. It also has mucus secreting goblet cells, because you know that it is mucosa for a reason. It has goblet cells. So if I were to show you the structure of the villi, it's sort of like this, but it's not like this. It actually has cells that are on it, microvilli, microscopic projections that increase the surface area, and they are known as microvilli. So they are like this, like this. So if I were to look at it from far, it would give a brush border appearance. It will look like this, brush border appearance. So this is it. This is our villi and microvilli. So done.